What he wanted to say was, he's had a fantastic time and I'm amazing to be with.
Yes. So today I've come a little bit further up the Northumberland coast and I'm here at Bamburgh Castle. And I'm not alone. Today I'm with a special guest. Hopefully you recognise him from his channel. It's Paul Compton.
Hi,
how are you doing? You okay?
Yeah, not so bad.
So Paul's travelled 4 hours up from Nantwich.
4 hours.
4 whole hours. He said he had a few days off and he said, you know, why don't I show him the coast? So I thought, why not? Let's go to Bamburgh Castle. We'll catch the beautiful, beautiful sunset. And as you can see, it's amazing. There's loads of colours in the sky. So yeah, there's nothing going on at all in the sky. I was hoping to get some clouds for the cloud video, but there's absolutely nothing. So we're making do with what we've got. We're wandering around, we're getting some compositions, and hopefully we'll get some decent images at the end of it.
Of course we will.
Of course we will. But for now, we're going to wander around, take some shots, and we'll see you soon. I did forget to mention, I'm not just here with Paul, I'm also here with his lovely wife, Denise. And she's currently got crabs. Yeah, she's photographing a crab on the beach.
Nothing to do with me, I might add.
She comes up Northumberland and gets crabs. Typical. But yes, so we're all taking some shots now and hopefully we'll get something. I have been to Bamburgh in the past, not vlogging, but I've had some images before. What I'll do, I'll show you some of those images now, just to kind of get you started off. So it's almost sunset. I think sunset's in around 10 minutes and there isn't anything going on in the sky. I think what I'm going to do here is use the bay to tell the story. And the way I'm doing that, I have got a composition of the rocks. I mean, these rocks are absolutely amazing. They've got loads of cracks in them and they've got some beautiful brown and golden seaweed. And I'm using that to tell the story. Now in my typical style when it comes to things like castles and stuff, I often stand really far back, and even though they're the main focus, I have them, you know, way up at the top of where I call the story. So I've done the same here. I've positioned Bamburgh Castle in the centre at the top, breaking the rule of thirds here. I think it's part of my style. I think it works well. I like it. As I say, what I'm doing is I've got a little bit of foreground, and by foreground I mean there's a tiny sort of triangle shape with some seaweed, and then that's leading up. I should really use a polarizer. I've left my filters in my car except for my drop-ins, and we've came in Paul's car. We're actually sleeping at a campsite tonight, even though I don't live far away from here. I thought, yeah, let's do some camping. So we're all camping out tonight. Probably going to have a little drink later on. I've got my hip flask with me, and Paul's got some cider. So yeah, we should be okay. Have a couple of sociable drinks. But yeah, I'm going to take the shot before the light completely goes, and if it's any good, you'll see it now. So even though the weather isn't fantastic and there's nothing of interest in the sky, the tide's probably a little bit too far out for what I want to get, I'm still really happy and I'm really glad that I've come out tonight. It's really good to meet up with Paul and Denise. And as I said before, it's all about community. And Paul's one of those people, I followed him for a long time. If you don't follow his channel, please check it out. There will be a link below. As I say, I followed his channel for some time now. And the thing I like about Paul's channel, he does focus on landscape photography, but he's not afraid to do something a little bit different. He's done motor shows and wedding photography on there as well. And I think it's just great that he's got a bit of diversity to his channel as well. So as the sun's gone down, it's getting darker and darker. They're putting the lights on at the castle, so we might get some nice shots with the lights just before we completely lose all the light. I've come closer to the shore edge, and I'm going to take a shot. Again, the seaweed telling the story, leading up. Now I have found a polarizing filter in my bag which will cut through the glare in the water and hopefully make for a better image. I've also noticed there's a rock here with some nice moss jumping off it and the barnacles. That should hopefully make for an interesting composition as well. So I'm going to take them now, and hopefully if they work out well, you'll see them soon. So I think the trick here, because there isn't anything going on in the sky, is to kind of eliminate that as a focal point. We've got the castle in the sky, which is a focal point enough, and kind of just use the rocks, the seaweed and everything that we've got here to our aid and have those as the main part of the image. It's just adapting. If it was a beautiful sky, I might put the castle in the lower third and really sort of accentuate the sky, but there's nothing going on, so I'm doing completely the opposite. I'm eliminating the sky, having the castle just at the top as a piece of interest, but really using the foreground as the main interest. And I don't mind doing that. It should work out okay, and hopefully we should get some decent images. But Paul's here with me now, with Denise as well, so...
I'm just wondering whether to copy. I normally do it with the wife, as you all know. I normally spot what she's looking at and come over and have a bit of a nose. And I know you shouldn't copy each other's ideas, but I've just had a look at what John was photographing. It's quite nice. So
I still think even when you photograph the same thing and you look at the photos afterwards, they still come out completely different, because you always bring in your own styles. I mean, I know myself,
and I've got a Canon, of course, so it's obviously going to be better.
Obviously, I know myself and Chris did a video and we photographed exactly the same thing, and the images were so different. And it just shows you can photograph exactly the same thing, stood in the same place, a couple of feet away from each other, and they will end up completely different. So yeah, let's do it. You photograph where I've been stood, see what we get, and let's see how they compare. So the lights are really dropping now, so there's probably not long left to do any more talking to yourselves. I'll show up in a bit of B-roll, but it's going to get really grainy, really fast. Paul's taking a few images here. I believe he said focus stacking. I don't know what that is. It's not something I do. Once he's done, I'm going to get in his way. I'm going to get in the sea, got my wellies on, not my waders, so I can't get too deep. Hopefully get some of the reflections of the light leading up the castle, and that might be, hopefully, the best image of the night. I'm not even over there, but I'm just saying that because they've all been rubbish so far.
He's
so
saying what he wants to say, just to make the impression.
It will be the best image, you bet. So I'm back on Bamburgh Beach. It's the next morning now, and we stayed at a local campsite. And I don't think I slept at all. Just looking at my watch all the way through the night. Really tired right now. I know Paul and Denise, they didn't have much sleep either. They've headed a little bit further down the bay. I'm quite close to Bamburgh Castle at the moment. The sun will rise there, but as you can see there's lots of cloud. The cloud does have a bit of detail in, so I might get a shot for the August landscape photography on YouTube UK Facebook group challenge, which is clouds, and my focus is going to be Bamburgh Castle. There's some nice detail of the clouds above it. I'm not down at the beach at the moment, I'm actually up on the grass. I'm going to try and work with that. Then I've got my waders on and my wellies, so I'm going to go into the water, get something with the rocks and just try and work some compositions. The light is terrible, I'll probably look grainy even if you can see me right now, but I'll come back to you once the sun's back up. So we've all came down to the shoreline now. There's a few other photographers here, and Denise is here, and Paul's here, and we're just right at the shoreline. There's tides going out, but we'll take a shot of the waves and the rocks and just trying to get the compositions with the leading lines of the rocks going up to Bamburgh Castle. It's looking okay at the moment. There's a bit of detail in the sky. I'm not sure if we're going to get that sunrise, but it's still going to get something this morning. I think it's going to be a lot better than it was last night. The conditions are more in our favour, and there's just more to work with. So I'm actually really liking the composition I've got at the moment. I'm using a rock to the right hand side, and we've got the waves crashing up on that, and then that's leading up to Bamburgh Castle. It's It's officially sunrise now. The sun hasn't turned up, but I think we'll still get some good images here, so I think it's going okay. It's just so nice being out here and just being on the beach. I say there's detail in the clouds, the waves are crashing up. It's all working out pretty well, and I'm just really excited to be down here today. So we were taking images of the castle with the waves and everything, and I looked behind me and the sky was just so dark and ominous, it just looked amazing. So I thought I'd come up to the lighthouse and get a few images of that. On the way, I've noticed a house just behind us with the lights on and a really dark cloud above it. So I'm taking a few shots of that. I'm making probably a square crop. I've also taken a landscape orientation and a portrait one because there's just so much detail around. But I think the square crop with the house in the centre might work well. So let's take a look at that one now. So it always happens, you kind of have a theme in mind, you have a little plan, and it just goes completely out the window. There's no sunrise, but there is some fantastic clouds, which is amazing because I really wanted to get the entry in for the August challenge on landscape photography on YouTube UK Facebook group. I think the clouds was chosen by Craig Prentice, I think that's his name. Sorry if it isn't Craig. He won with the image I'm going to show here. I believe it was Wildflowers, a really nice sort of golden image. But the sky is just amazing. I mean, look behind me. Such ominous dark skies, and we've got the lighthouse, the castle, and also the house that I took a picture of up there. So there's 3 locations that I've shot. I did have a nightmare again with sensor cleaning. I mustn't have cleaned it properly last time, but I've done a roadside sensor clean. So hopefully the last images should be alright, and the first ones I'll just do a bit of Photoshop cleanup. So I'm absolutely knackered. I got no sleep at all last night at the campsite. It was really good though. I mean, Paul and Denise are up, had a good chat, had a cider, a little bit of whiskey, David Griffiths camping style. Yeah, I was hoping it would get me to sleep. Absolutely not. I think it's because I had a coffee at like 5 o'clock, and that's just like, you shouldn't do that. Me, I'm like a gremlin, coffee after midday, and I'm just up all night, so shouldn't have done that one. But it's been fantastic. It's been great seeing them, and it's collaborations. It's what it's all about, isn't it? The community is amazing, and it's one of the main reasons I really love doing the YouTube vlogging, because you just, all the people I've got to know, and they're just all great, like-minded, and we have a laugh. It's just brilliant. So that's it for me. It's been a fantastic morning. It was a great night last night, despite it not being the best conditions. It's been great for Paul and Denise to come up and spend this time with me. Absolutely amazing seeing them. I'm going to see them again in the future. The meet in September in the Lake District, and also another time soon as well, I imagine. So thank you very much, Paul.
You're welcome.
It's been great seeing you.
Thanks for inviting us up.
Bamburgh Castle, fantastic. We've got some clouds. It's been great. Now I need some sleep, but I've got to go to work for a stupid amount of hours. So until next time, see you later.